Oh, hello, my sweet. So won't you come with me? There's oh so much to show in this grim dark distillery. So if you like bullshit or want some hobby tips, this nightmare priest nigh and binary hell rolled magnificent welcomes you. Hello, my sweets. Hi, Mowgli. Didn't get a notification today. Oh no. Also sorry I missed Monday and Friday evening hang. So I didn't do one yesterday. I had intentions to, and then I fell asleep. I stayed up way too early. We have a special guest today. It's Theo. Theo says hi. He's in his little baby chair. It's got a sign that says babies only. Theo! Theo, they're all so excited that you're here. Hi, Roz. Hi, Possum. He's doing it. Look at him go. Yeah, that's my boy. So yeah, today we are going to add some bowstring. It's only one, but I felt like I needed to put an S in there just for like verbally how it sounds. But yeah, I added strings to all the other bows already. This is the last one, Arvid. Woo! Look at that boy go! I tell you what. So yeah, to give you an idea of what it's gonna look like, this is the first one I did, and this one is special because it has one of my hairs. Not only one of my hairs, but one of my gray hairs, which means that there is power in that, my sweets. But yeah, I really wanted to put as much of myself, not just physically, but into this group. The whole goal with doing My Little Doom Company was trying to showcase how you can put yourself into a game. So I pretty much made Vemet, who is my 1490 Doom persona. If the world's gone to shit, yeah, I'm just gonna start a Femboy Death Cult. It is what it is. So yeah, that's where Vemet comes in. I have finished up all of the gore and the weathering, so I am finally happy to say that he is done. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I don't know if I can even get to that level of detail on here, but on a couple of these, no, on a couple of these, on their weapons, I added hair, so it looks very grisly, as though they have been just doming people. Uh, so the Pig Knight also got some hair. I'm very pleased with the Pig Knight, how it turned out. Very grisly. Let's see if we can get that to focus a little bit better. I might have to bust out the 300 millimeter when I take pictures of these. But yeah, the flail spattered in gore and has some hair, some Margot hair stuck in there to really make it look like he's just been, or sorry, she has just been braining people with a flail made out of a human skull. The one that I think people are probably going to dig the most is the Brute. I'm really happy with the Brute. And yeah, they are absolutely covered in gore, but I really wanted one to make realistic gore effects, like I always try to do, but specifically if you were living in this hellish world that 1490 Doom takes part in, I wanted to show what the mud and the blood really looks like in my head when I'm playing these games. We might be able to get closer on that one. Let's see. Right here. So you can see how fucking awful the club looks. No, the hairs are too small, I think. There's a hair glued to my finger, but yeah. I'll have to take some really close-up pictures, probably with my better lens. Uh, but I really tried to make that look like it had just been used to just bludgeon people to death. A lot. So I'm really happy. I also really love how the lens turned out. I wanted it to be like a diving lens that's been smattered with blood and mud and yeah, so I'm really, really happy with them. Um, of course, we have Kelly's Knight. Kelly the Knight also got a really awful mace for for bopping people. Sometimes you just gotta bop someone when they're trying to climb up your castle. And then her scavenger, which its bowstring was made with the Sigourney Weaver hair. And that's not like actually Sigourney Weaver's hair, but like the wig. The Sigourney wig slash Grebo wig. Sorry, Greblin. Grebo has never worn wigs. Grebo has not worn wigs yet, but maybe someday. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased with how they have turned out. Um, and then all of Sam's Doom Company, who all have ranged weapons, so they all needed to have little strings added. It was definitely a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I'm very, very happy with them, and it feels really, really, really good to finally get that done. Today, we're going to be adding a string. Vin Vilgribo Vervigs. Maybe. So, Grebo has not yet demanded Vigs. When Grebo demands Vigs, Grebo will get Vigs. But Greblin changed its mind. Like, I put the Vig on there, and then after a while, Grebo was just like, I'm done with this. I'm doing a different thing now. And it just kept throwing the wig off. So that's why Greblin didn't have the wig anymore. So yeah, today we are going to be... Today we're going to be adding the string to this. Then we're going to start painting up on these guys. That's sick, Eli. I like my... Thank you, Mowgli. No, thank you, guys. I'm really, really proud of them. I think... it just feels really good to finally be at the end where I can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel of like, hey, I've been working on a bunch of different shit, but now we're at the point that I can like put it all together and show you guys everything. So once I get these guys painted, and then we are hopefully going to have time to finish up these two little ladies today. I think I want to do something. I want to convert them in some way, but I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do yet. So that's going to be what I'm doing a good chunk of today. Just finishing those up, painting these, putting a little bow on here, bowstring, not a little bow. And after that, later today, I'm going to be going through and editing the first podcast for Piss Pants that Shankly and I recorded yesterday morning while having some coffee. And I am very, very happy with it. It's going to be very good. I think you all will really much like it. Very, very much like it. Really much. I think you guys are really going to like it very much. We'll go with that. It definitely... I fully intended it. I was like, oh yeah, it's going to be a bullshit podcast. But it's just like, actually, it's not really a bullshit podcast. It's more of a... someone that has been in the hobby for a very, very, very long time. Oh, it was great. We had a wonderful sleepover. Thanks for asking. I had a wonderful sleepover. We played some Merkborg. Shankly and Clay and I think Brian all played their first games of Merkborg. And I'm absolutely going to tell you about that because one of my favorite things that we've ever done in a game happened. That just summarizes Merkborg and also me as just a character when I finally get to play, as opposed to just GM. And we played Talisman, which I'd never played Talisman before, but I've played Relic, which is essentially 40k skinned Talisman. And it is good. It's a different kind of game than I normally would like to play, but I can see why a lot of people really like it. So I'm definitely down to give it another try. Let's see, what else did we do? I brought Steve some models to paint, so I'm really excited to see how that goes. One of which I took him 6 Catboys, so we should hopefully be seeing Shankly's his painted versions of the Child Inverted's demons, as well as a Chaos Spawn that I like pretty much sculpted. Talisman is just Fantasy Monopoly. It kind of did. So shit, I don't know. I don't know anything about Talisman other than like what I did experience. I played the Thief, which was very funny for me because like I just kept going back and forth to the village, just stealing shit. And I really liked the mental image of it's just like, okay, what's your turn? I'm going to the village. Okay. And next turn, going into the hills. Next turn, I'm going back to the village. And the Thief, every time you go to the village, instead of buying stuff, you can just look through like the inventory cards and just take one. So it's just like, I really like the idea of like, oh yeah, you know, this guy walks into town. He's like, hey, everybody. And then he just steals like an axe. And then he comes back 2 days later and steals some armor. And then he comes back 2 days later and steals a helmet and then a shield. And then the next time he comes in, he steals a whole donkey, just a whole mule. He's just like, all right, I'm gonna take that mule too. And I like the idea that they just never, like, man, every time that guy comes to town, shit goes missing. And then he has it. And I like that it's just like there's no mechanics to make them ever realize that I'm stealing shit. I just like that. That's fun. So, well, I'm going to move that. Actually, I'm going to go over here and do a little wintergreen. It's a wintergreen kind of day. Also, I'm really excited to show you what I've been printing. Because at first I was like, man, you know, I was really excited about this, but it just doesn't seem right, Mr. Krabs. So I fixed it, and oh boy, it's going to be good. Let's see, what have you all not seen? I don't think you've seen this mausoleum that I've got printed, and I know you haven't seen this stuff, so. So before we do the bowstrings and whatnot and what have you, I'll show this. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than beg for permission. It's not stealing, it's borrowing. Yeah, you can take anything as long as you return it before it's missed, according to Mr. Krabs. So here is one of the mausoleums that I printed from TerraBlocks, which again, shout out to my boys at TerraBlocks. Like, I love when people make like STLs that I don't have to do dick. Like, I don't have to do a damn thing other than hit print, and it turns out awesome with no effort on my part, because that means that I can spend the time that I would have spent doing that just adding a little bit more detail to it, instead of just trying to get the damn thing to print. So I'm really, really happy with that. I think I already showed you guys the other mausoleums. Right now we're up to 5. I forgot the one that Hexbricks made. 5 mausoleums. And let me grab the other little block so you guys can see, so I can do a little joke. So I have taken the 1490 Doom Castle STLs, and I figured out the percentage to increase them to make them to where they are the height that I like personally for playing 1490 Doom on. This is the standard one, and this is mine. It is 3 inches tall, which means that it is the perfect height for being where you can still climb it. After 3 inches of height, you can't climb it without a ladder or a grappling hook. And that is something that Cody, did your dog die? He did not die. He did not die. We got the shit kicked out of us by a bunch of fucking farmers, though, and we had to leave almost empty-handed. We also got this guy to come with us, though, Arvid. So Arvid's one of the boys now. Me, my dog, this guy with a bow, and now we're just gonna go kill everybody in the castle because I'm bloodthirsty. They've enraged me. But yeah, a bunch of fucking farmers just held me up. Like, really, I think Possum nailed it, that mission's hard. I do want to play it again, but I'm not going to play it again without chronicling exactly what happened during my first playthrough. I would like to play it again to see if I can actually do the thing. Poking you with their pitchforks. Oh yeah, no, so Pitchfork guy, I forgot all about him. He pretty much stayed in his little house that he was in the whole game. Now, the very first person I ran into was the fucking beekeeper, though. And the beekeeper was a pain in the ass. The blacksmith was also kind of a pain in the ass, but not as much as the beekeeper. The beekeeper took like 3 of my turns, and you've only got 10 to get all your shit done. I fucked up on that. I should not have kept fighting them. I should have gotten in, probably held him up with Behringer, stolen the shit, and then ran. Yeah, I like Pitchfork Guy too. He's good. He's good. I'm really happy with how my alternate, like, not alternate, but the first attempts at doing a darker skin tone, it went really well. I really want to make sure that everybody is like equally represented in what I present. So like making sure that I am able to paint a darker skin tone was important to me. But yeah, so I can go ahead and start trying to add these strings. I'm gonna have to change my pants. It's too hot. It's too hot down here. I know I've got some pants down here. Give me just a second. All right, I don't know if you guys can see me, so I'm gonna go behind this. Nobody look, I don't have any pants on. Nobody look, nobody look. All righty, I did it. Just a little wintergreen for the road. Hey, Theo. All right, let's put a hair on this bow. Important to note, you can just walk away from a fight in 1490. Nothing locks you into combat as far as I know. Correct. I will punch a guy and just walk away and just, get him, doggy. Okay, good. I'm just gonna steal your shit. Okay, let's go. That probably would have been a better idea. And if I had not been so blood crazed. I think that's the thing. It's like as soon as I open the door, I get hit in the face with a scythe from a beekeeper, and I'm like, well, fuck that guy. But yeah, the bigger man turns the cheek and steals their stuff and then leaves. That's the moral of the story, my sweets. And now the story I'm about to tell you does not really go along with that. It kind of reinforces the monster that I am. So in our Merc board game, we wake up in a pit of corpses. And I rolled around in it for a little bit because I just couldn't find a reason to get out of the pit. You know, sometimes it's just hard to even get out of bed. So when we finally did get out, we eventually make our way through these catacombs. They find an urn that has a bunch of teeth, so I do the only logical thing. The wargamer in you says we battle until one of us falls over, even if it takes 30 turns. It really does. The part of me that was just like, well, my blood's up now. My blood greed must be quenched. We get to some like crypts, and they find an urn that's just full of teeth, human teeth. And I'm like, okay, well, oh yeah. Also, I've been robbing corpses of their fancy clothes. All the fancy clothes that we came upon, I made sure to strip them from the corpses and put it in my bag. So I've got, at this point in time, I had only one set of fancy clothes. And then the rest of my sack, I just filled with teeth. Just thousands of teeth are in this bag. And pretty much from there, we make our way out of the crypts. We find a guy that has a bunch of cockroach friends, and he's talking to us about trying to get out and how we got to get past pretty much the groundskeeper who lives in a shack up on the hill. And we're like, all right, cool. Well, let's go deal with the groundskeeper, and then this whole thing will just blow over. That's not exactly what happened. So I'm going to go ahead because I'm going to talk with my hands for a little bit. So we get to this house with our cockroach friend. He controls cockroaches. He also helped me get a corpse out of the tree. There was one lady wearing fancy clothes. So we had the cockroaches climb up there and cut her down. So I now have 2 sets of fancy clothes. Pocket teeth. Exactly, pocket teeth. And I did throw pocket teeth at people like candy camouflage or confetti. Like whenever someone was just like, oh man, I don't think this is going so well. I'm like, hey, cheer up, pocket teeth. And I just threw pocket teeth at them. So we eventually get to the house that the groundskeeper is at. And it's key to know that Shankly woke up with a bear trap on his head. And he was just like, oh, fuck. So we've got a bear trap. And from inside the little house, we hear people arguing. And like we're like, oh, what are they arguing about? And they're just like they're fucking arguing about chores and shit. And they say that they say they dealt with the groundskeeper, and I'm just like, oh shit, these dudes are gonna try to steal our shit. These guys are this is clearly we've snuck up on the baddies. So instantly I'm like, is there smoke coming out of the chimney? And Daniel, our GM, who was wonderful, was just like, oh yeah, there's smoke coming out. And I'm just like, okay, good. So that means that there's a fire. There's a fire in the fireplace. Shankly, I have an idea. I'm gonna need you to put that bear trap in front of the front door. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, put the bear trap down the front door. And then I just start. Also, it's key to know that there is an open grave next to this house where they had been digging up a body, apparently. So there's this old lady body, like in this hole, and I'm like, all right, cool. No questions asked. He's a bad guy. I was like, all right, cool. You put the bear trap in front of the front door. And then I just hop down in the grave and I start pouring teeth into this old lady corpse. So I've got this old lady corpse that I'm just loading up with teeth. And then it's just like, all right, what else do we have? And Clay's like, hey, I fuck with poisons. I got some poison. So I was like, well, give it here. So we put the poison in the old lady. And then he's also like, I've also got a bunch of just like the craziest itching powder. So we're like, all right, cool. Put that in the old lady too. So eventually we're like, yeah, this is looking good. And then Shankly's like, I've got, I believe it was 72 hours worth of lamp fuel. We did not have a lantern or a lamp. So we just have a bunch of fuel. I'm just like, well, it just kind of makes sense. So of course we fill the old lady with 72 hours of lamp fuel. And then we have our friend who can speak to cockroaches, have them slowly carry this old lady up the house into the chimney. And the mental image of a bunch of people just kind of bickering amongst themselves in like a shitty little cabin, like, and then they just hear something on the roof, like, what the fuck was that? And then all of a sudden, like, Santa comes to visit, but it's not Santa. It's an old dead lady that's been filled with thousands of teeth, 72 hours of lamp fuel, poison, and itching powder, falls out of the chimney and down into the fire and just blows. It pretty much, what we later found out was a merchant who was the closest one to the fireplace. It just turns them into just a mist of blood and bones and teeth. And the other two were really not doing great. The first one, the closest one to the door, being a priest, comes running out, steps in the bear trap, and is just like, oh my God. And I'm waiting by the door and just, decapitate him with my sword. And then the other person pretty much runs out of the house and is just like, what the hell's going on? And just, I think, just dies of poison. Like, Clay cuts them just a little bit, and they're just like, oh shit, all the poison. So there would be a moment before she ignites where they just look into the grandma's eyes before dying. Just, what the fuck is that? Just a human teeth fragmentation grenade made from an old lady that also is filled with poison and itching powder. And that is about as Merkborg as it gets. If you're ever like, man, I don't have enough, I got up, I'm just a trash person, I have trash weapons, and, how do I get ahead in life? They weren't the bad guys, they were there to bury Nana. That's the wildest take on that adventure. It is. So yeah, we found out afterwards that one of them was a merchant who would sell us stuff, and the other two were actually just another group of adventurers that could have been allies, because moments later, after I start grave robbing, because I was like, okay, while they're doing that, are any of these headstones really fancy looking? And he was like, yeah, there's a really fancy one. And I'm just like, all right, well, I'm going to go start digging up that grave, because fancy headstone, fancy clothes, baby. Also, it's very key to know, my character's name was Vemet, and that was not like by choice. It was deemed by the gods. I rolled, and randomly I got the same name as my little cult member, so I thought, well, what would Vemet do in this situation? And the first thing that he would do after crawling out of a pit of corpses would be to take the means from life to start the little cult that he needs. So he's got to have fancy clothes for those that are in his flock, and he needs some priest robes. And I gotta say, after peeking in through the blinds, and we were like, man, what's peeking in through some little cracks in the house, we could tell that one of them was dressed as a priest. It was pretty much decided right then and there that I was gonna have those robes. In fact, I'm pretty certain they were mine from the beginning. I don't know how we got them, but I got them back. They were a little more burnt, and they had a bunch of teeth holes in them. But I did it. And then I started grave robbing, and that's when the boss shows up, because apparently when you start grave robbing, that's when the boss shows up. But long story shorter, I got my priest robes, I made an old lady bomb, and I now have enough fancy clothes for three people to start the little cult that I needed. And that is how our game of Merkborg went. I think everyone had a great time. The people in that house, they didn't have a great time. But other than that, we all had a great time. Nobody died either. Shankly was broken, but he did not die. In Merkborg, when your health goes to 0, you are broken and you have to roll on a chart. And depending on what the outcome is on the chart, you either are knocked unconscious, horribly maimed, or just dead. So he got lucky. He was just knocked unconscious. But yeah, the boss monster woke up and attacked. Pretty much. Yeah, should have pocketed the nano grenade. See, that's the thing. We didn't have, I guess we could have carried her. And that's the other thing, is you can always make, well, no, we used all of our lamp oil. And I used a lot of my teeth. I used all my teeth. I dumped that entire sack of thousands of teeth into that old lady corpse. And then we filled it with lamp fuel. In hindsight, maybe we shouldn't have gone 12 out of 10 and should have made just a kind of small old lady bomb. And I also was just thinking that, man, the sheer explosion of that would have blown the entire chimney out the back of that house, like Krampus style, just like, and that, yeah, it was good. It was good. The very first Merkborg game that I played with Dave Higgins, a friend, a wonderful friend, leveling the building with Grandma. Exactly. Level the building with a grandma. The first Merkborg game that I played with Dave, I played a alchemist. And I just had a bunch of poisons, and I also was fortunate enough that one of my starting pieces of equipment was some trained rats that I could talk to. So I thought, when life gives you rats, take matters into your own hands. So I did what anyone would do, and I pretty much just used the rats as weapons, but not in the way that they would think. I pretty much would just take these rats and I would just cover them in poison. And then whenever we would see people, I would be like, bring me the teeth, my sweets. So then all these rats that are just covered in all these awful poisons are just crawling all over people and trying to get in their mouth. And yeah, obviously if you got a bunch of rats putting their hands in your mouth while they're covered in poison, you're going to get the poison. But yeah, that's Merkborg. That's why I love it. It lets me do the awful things. It's a game pretty much made for yep, the entire world is nothing but murder hobos. Started a plague. Exactly. It's just murder hobos, the game, and the setting. If everybody was a murder hobo, that's pretty much where we would be at. So it would just be Merkborg. Everyone is pretty much nihilistic. There's no hope. We worship some giant basilisks that have 2 heads. So I am just taking a very small amount of super glue, and I'm wrapping it around there and letting it dry for just a smidgen. And then we are going to take this hair, and we're going to feed it into underneath the arm. And it's not going to go because it's a hair. I'm going to need my other tweezers. This is a 2-tweezer job. I'm also going to pop these bad boys off. Also, I shaved my face. I'm not as scraggly as I once was. And that's when they revolt. There will only be scraggly Eli. Alrighty, so we pull this and try to get as close as we can to where that actual angle would be if you were holding a bow like that. And just a smidgen of super glue on there. And this is, of course, we're using the crazy glue, not the cheap glue that I use for damn near everything else, because we cannot afford to have this thing covered in super glue at this point. So we're going to use our nicer super glue. I'm going to push that down. There we go. Hold it right where we want it on the bow. So for those of you that do not fuck with super glue on a very, 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 very regular basis, super glue is activated by moisture, essentially. So if you do not have super glue accelerator, but you're like, man, I really need this to kind of like catch a little bit there, that's why I often blow on it. If you've got a lot of spit in your mouth, if you're real spitty, and you kind of blow that over top of whatever you're doing, it will get the moisture from your mouth onto the cyanoacrylate, which will cause it to activate a little bit quicker. It's not the same as putting your finger on there, which again is another, hey, if you're needing super glue to accelerate, put your finger on it, because it absolutely will be activated by that. However, this is not a good time for that, because again, we are trying to keep this as clean as possible, so we just see the hair wrapped around it, not any like skin or chunks of super glue. So we want all the super glue that we pretty much put on there to be either evaporated or completely hardened. Yeah. And that is a tip you can use for super gluing almost anything. Almost anything. Alrighty, we're just gonna hold this for just a second. Damn it, okay, super glue needs to be, we need a little bit more. I think I might, boop, boop, just a little bit. Steve and I also stayed up watching spoopy movies, and the one that Steve introduced me to was so good that I came home and I watched it again the next night with my wife. And that was The Exorcist 3 Legion. I cannot stress how much both myself and Kelly, when I introduced it to her, were just like, are you sure? Number 3, we're gonna watch number 3? That doesn't sound good. Yeah, holy shit, it's good. Oh, have you watched Dark Skies? I have not. I don't think I have. Let me, this Dark Skies, that sounds familiar. Dark Skies. No, I don't think I have. Would you recommend it? Got a 6.3 on IMDb. That's not bad for a horror movie. Science fiction horror film written and directed by Scott Stewart. There's Blumhouse. That sounds cool. Dark Skies is good. The ending is amazing. I don't want to. Okay, cool. I won't look at any more spoilers. But that sounds good. You know, I'm always in the mood for a spoopy. I love a good spoopy movie. Ba-da-bow. And then it's portrayed as a ghost movie, but it turns out to be aliens. I'm not reading anything else. Okay. And that, I kind of picked up on that looking at there, it was just like, it may be extraterrestrial in nature. So, which means if that's the case, Kelly will definitely like it. Kelly definitely is creeped out by aliens if they are done right. All right, guys, And that's the bow. It starts off like a poltergeist. Hell yeah. I thought the way that they did, honestly, there's no way. I'm really disappointed that I've never seen Exorcist 3 Legion until the other day, because it clearly had an impact on Hereditary. And from being from 1990, holy fuck. I retract my statements about, the best horror movies made in the past 20 years on Hereditary, because, yeah, that movie did a lot of things very, very right. So yeah, there is the little bowstring. It's very kind of hard to see because, again, it's the width of a hair. But can we? Oh, whoop, whoop. Alrighty. So right there, you can see it. Yeah, just a little bowstring. This hair is not related. It needs to get off. Nor is this one. Silly little Margot hairs. I see it. Okay, good. Just want to make sure you guys can see the little hair. Alrighty, and that is all the little bowstrings that I have to make. So from here, I just need to decide how much gore I want to put on the guys from the Fall of Rothenburg. Our Doom companies, I wanted to be gory, as though they look like they have just been living in this hellish world for a hot minute. From here, I think we're probably going to skip into a hop, skip, and a jump into painting up this crew. That, or I don't know. I don't know if I should do that or if I should. Let's go back that way. There we go. Do we want to paint up Otto and his castle guard, or do we want to convert Adelheid and I'm not ever going to remember Otto's wife's name. Arvid should be clean, but his bow should be bloody, like he's picking up the same arrows. Yeah, you're right. No, that looks good. And that's, so like with the ones that have bows, I tried to make sure that the only gore would have been on their hands, maybe a splatter or two on like a chest or like a helmet or like their leg where they've wiped blood off. But I wanted them to look, I wanted the blood placement to be realistic, which is why, especially with like the Brute and the Knight, I did do my best to like forensic style figure out where the blood spatter would be and add small little droplets where it's like, yep, it would hit here, but there would be like some little spatter. Also like accounting for it kind of running down. So I'm really happy with how the gore effects and the mud and everything turned out on those guys. As for you all, so Adelheid is very small, and I was thinking, I don't want, I did think briefly about replacing her hair with Margot hair, or with Theo hair. Oh my goodness, he's just a little sleepy buggy. Hey. That way, never close enough to get bloody. Exactly. Arvid should be clean. Same arrows. Yeah. And that I definitely wanted to keep that kind of vibe, just where they're just pulling the same arrows out because they don't have the resource to leave them. Let's just get into painting, because I don't think I have my head set on how those are going to look yet, and I don't want to waste time. So we're just going to get right into it. We're going to start, of course, with 6-shooter. There we go. A little bit of 6-shooter before I do that. Yeah, okay, I already showed the 1490 castle and stuff. The pieces are gonna look so good. I'm so excited. it being really big is really doing it for me. I've almost got the whole castle printed out, and it's in large size. The steps look really good, I think. They look like steps. They look proportionate. Still got to do the little things that go on the edges. The edging. It starts with a B. I want to say the barricade. Might be barricade. Barricade's not the right word. I'm gonna think of it. Battlements. It's battlements. That's the word. Alrighty. Otto, my friend, it is time for you to get some 6-shooter. Get your 6-shooter on, boy. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. 5 drops of 6-shooter. Burn, thinning medium. Theo does not know how he feels about my vortex mixer. Crenellation. Beep-doop boop. And 1 drop of thinning medium. Just 1. Boop. And that's enough to get the little mixture that we're wanting. I wasn't looking. I don't know if it's crenellations or not. I'm gonna have to look up what a crenellation means real quick. That word escapes me at this moment. The battlements of a castle. Yes, you are correct. Crenellations. A battlement is a defensive wall with gaps called crenels. I did not know that. Crenels that allow defenders to fire weapons at attackers. That is exactly what that is. Those are crenellations. Very good job, Possum. You've expanded all of our vocabulary a little bit, and now we know. And that's half the battle. The other half is lowering your seat sometimes. Boop, boop, boop. So let's mix that thinning medium up with some 6-shooter. I really, really like the thinning medium. I also really like that they tell you the approximate ratio to mix it on the bottle, so you're not just like, I'm just doing my best here. I'm just doing my best. Day's going by so slow, I can't wait for a smoke break. I'm sorry, Mowgli. I'm trying to get it to go by faster for you. I thought my grandma bomb story would have done the job. Tell us again how grandma got turned into a bomb. Oh, that's your favorite story, isn't it, Margot? Margot's bedtime stories would be nightmarish. At some point, I need somebody to throw money at me and say, make a book, any book, so I can make Sister Margot's increasingly disturbing stories for small children. That needs to be a thing. Today, I need to reach out to my friend Dave. Yeah, I had a wonderful time with the old Shankster and Brian and Daniel and Clay. Hey, Clay. Which, yeah, I did ask Clay. Monotonous. No, it's not you. It's cold in this room, and we have to fold the blunts close. Monotonous. I would think that would not be great on your hands, like if it's cold as hell. But also I would think that you would not want it to be hot, because like then you would be like, I'm getting too sleepy. And then you just fall asleep in a room with a bunch of blunts. None of them finished being rolled. Life is a blunt. Somebody's got to fold it. I appreciate your work. I'm thankful for you. I respect you, Barnacle Man. Painting his little feet and his little leggies. That's what we're doing today. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-boo. Yeah. Otto, you look quite dashing for being a traitorous son of a bitch. I'm gonna kill you when we meet. And maybe even your lady friend. I haven't decided yet. Oh no! That you heard me talking shit. Oh no! You still heard me talking shit. What do you think about that, Theo? I wasn't paying attention. Theo normally doesn't come hang out with me down here. He must be a little needy today, and that's okay. But yeah, I asked Clay because it's been on my mind, and I feel like I've probably asked him before, but I often forget. But I asked if he had seen the movie Clay Pigeons, and he was like, yes, I have. And I was like, man, every time someone says your name, all I can think of is, hey, Clay, which is my favorite part of that entire movie. The main character is supposed to go meet Vince Vaughn's character down by the lake at night, and he's afraid of the guy. So, of course, what he does is sneak up behind him, get real close to his ear, and go, hey, Clay. Hey, Clay. Yeah. Hey, Clay. Just right in his ear, and he's like, ah! And I love that. It's just good. It's just good times. I'm layered up and have nitrile gloves on, but the table is metal, so it radiates cold. Oh, man. You're skosh quiet, by the way. Oh, no. I can fix that. Squosh. Squosh quiet. Okay, how about that? That good? I don't want to clip and like blast your guys' ears. Scream in my ears, Eli. I like it. Oh, hello, my sweets. Can you hear me? Much better. Wonderful. Scream in my ears. I like it. That's how Margot likes to scream sometimes. Just a. You're just like, what do you need, girl? She's like, I don't know. You tell me. I don't have real problems. There's a little, which Margot would be so angry if she heard me say that. It's like, I have all kinds of problems, Deb. You just don't understand. It's a lot harder to walk in my little shoes than you would think. Boo-loo-loo-loo. Be-lee-lee-lee. All right, we got those. I've been letting my cats out, but now they get really upset if I come home and forget. They scream in my face. Can't believe you're being dismissive of the princess struggles. I'm not dismissing them. I am acknowledging that I may have done irreversible damage by spoiling her too much. And I will own up to that. And I regret nothing. The way I see it is, if loving somebody too well makes them into a little monster, well then yeah, I like making monsters. I never claimed that was not the case. And the struggles are real. It's hard. It's hard to be as adorable and as cute as Margot day in and day out. And we should all be more appreciative. Gentle parenting is ruining this world. I'm joking. Oh, see, that's like I keep my kids in this house. Like, if I don't get to, consider them children, according to the government when it comes tax time, then yeah, I don't have to worry about what they're going to contribute to the world, so I can spoil them as much as I want. And no one can tell me that that's not healthy. But, yeah, I can say that that's part of the reason I don't want to have kids is that, yeah, if you do everything right and try to give them the best life that you can and nothing happens to them, you're probably going to wind up with a little bit of a monster of some kind because you've not prepared them for bad things. And the world's got some pretty rough shit. So that's a task I would prefer to leave with just kitties. I'll just take care of kitties. I'm not taking any of that blame. That's just me. Margot pays taxes. Theo is evading. Oliver has been evading his taxes for years. Oh no, I don't do that. Nah, I'm just buckwheat. Taxes? Yeah, it's a good question. When are y'all gonna start paying jumbo tax? It's my tax. Theo says, I don't really pay taxes. I'm more of a free agent kind of guy. His ears are twitching. He knows I'm talking about him. All right. Well, that's auto. Next. Hey, looks like Eli forgot to clip that. I'll blame Nighttime Eli for that one. Nighttime Dan. For those of you that do not watch Watcher Ghost Files, Nighttime Dan is the name that their little EMP thing told them when they asked who is here in this attic with us in one of the houses. And it was just like, Nighttime Dan. And I was just like, well, that's great. That's a great name. So yeah. I did not get the mold line on that mace, but now I did. We don't fuck with mold lines in this house. No mold lines. No more mold lines. Say it all the time. It was just like he does. Nighttime Dan. It's good. I love a good nighttime Dan. He's the kind of guy that you're like, man, the ghost is pretty cool. I do hate that he just kind of like makes a lot of noise in the attic when we're sleeping, but I can't get too upset because he is Nighttime Dan. Well, this is wild. Where the hell did that come from? Oh, I think that's a hair. It must have gotten stuck whenever I did the... Oh yeah, I didn't fix, but I cleaned these guys up a little bit. Look at that. Bam. Opening right back up. It's almost like I didn't fill them up with resin unintentionally. And then I had to clean them. So yeah, we're back. We're back, baby. How Eli got his needle nose tweezers back. Sorry, needle nose pliers. Those are not tweezers. A little 6-shooter all over the metal bits, which there's a lot. These guys should go pretty quick as far as painting. This is gonna be black ice, but we'll get there. Hold back, Eli. hold back. The cheesecloth definitely likes to just drink up all of our paint, no matter how primed we get it. So that's a thing we got to keep in mind. Looks really good though, so it's worth it. Nighttime Dan. It is almost break o'clock. I've also been watching Creepshow. That's something that we've been watching. For those of you looking for spoopies. The Creepshow show, not the movies, which we do enjoy those as well. Actually, we've already watched the first Creepshow movie. But Kelly went to a craft convention festival while I was at my sleepover with her friend, who made us some pumpkin bread, which I'm very appreciative of. I love pumpkin bread. And I like to say it like Pumpkinhead. There's somebody in the movie Pumpkinhead that says it like that. Pumpkinhead. That, or we just started saying it. Must be a store walk today. Almost all the ASM. Alright, finally eco time. Drink your coffee, Eli. Nighttime Dan. It must be a store walk. Almost all the ASMs are here already. Oh shit. Gotta be best on your best possumist behavior. On that note, I'm going to go pee. Be right back.
she comes, she's made of bronze and stone. And I'm just fur and teeth and blood and bitter angry bones.
You gonna go do your own thing? Okay, buddy. And we're back. Hey, teddy bear. Theodore, he's the teddy bear. Everyone loves him. He's my son. He is my son. We're gonna need a little bit more 6-shooter. We might get a little crazy here. We might do 10 drops and 2 drops of thinning medium. Because we need a lot of 6-shooter. Right, Theo? I guess, man. Wink. I think I might end up, now that I've thought about it a little bit, 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. 10 drops. I'm not, okay, good. Now the thinning medium, give it another little shake. Vortex mixture goes. 2 drops. Hey, I got an idea, Eli. Let's push that guy there. Let's put this here. That way we don't have to keep reaching around. Oh, I'm sorry, all the ASMs are there, possum, or will possibly be there. Possibly be there. Got to be on your best possumist behavior. Yes. I've been playing too much Unicorn Overlord and going to bed later than I should. I'm eepy sweepy. Oh no, not an eepy sweepy possum. I get it. Man, when we were recording Piss Pants, Steve was just like, dude, I don't know how you do it. I'm still trying to wake up. And you're just bubbly as hell. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's one of my curses. I wake up, as Kelly says, with the energy of 1,000 suns every day. And I'm just like, I'm a scat man. So I'm just always really bubbly in the mornings. Now when it gets nighttime, I'm just like, I'm just ready to chill. Everybody entertain me. There's a certain time period in the day. That's typically when I'm like sleepy. It's typically in the afternoon is when I'm like, okay, I've used up all of my entertaining energy. It's now time for the wind down. Oh no! Got a little paint on my finger. And if we spill a drop on anything, Mr. Krabs will cut our butts off and hang them on his wall. So we need to know. I've got. It's Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, my sweets. We are in need of an update on Star's duel. We need to know how that went. So hopefully Star pops in and lets us know, because I gotta know. I've been thinking about it. Like, man, I hope that duel went okay. Our collective honor as a community, not a cult, is on the line here. I've decided. I'm confident that Star did not let us down. Number 3, please step up to receive your medal. I really like these little bucket helmets. I'm always on my posthumous behavior, obstinate and belligerent. I love it. I'm here for it. The posthumous behavior. I would say that in the workforce, I am also always on my posthumous behavior. Yeah. Sometimes you just need to be a little trash goblin. Trash goblin. I met Cosmo, Shankly's wonderful pupperoo. And he got to laugh at me while I attempted to carry Cosmo down the stairs, because I looked probably, I'm assuming, like I look whenever I'm around people's kids, which is very clearly uncomfortable. And I picked him up like a box, because I don't know how to pick up dogs. I don't know anything about dogs. I don't know shit about dogs, guys. Now, Shankly's got 2 kitties. And they were like, yeah, this is nuts, you know. They're really skittish. They don't go up to anybody. And I'm like, oh, I'm a cat whisperer. Because they both came up and they're just like, hey. And I'm like, hi, friend. They can sense it. Kitties can sense it. They don't call me the cat daddy for nothing. I speak of the language. Reblin did not like that joke, it said. Very loudly. Reblin, calm down over there. It's just a joke. He's just like, well, your son left you. It's like, he did. But he's got stuff to do today. I can't hold Theo down to, my schedule. He's got a busy schedule. If I had to guess right now, he's probably upstairs, maybe having a little snack, and then he's going to go fishing, which is when he climbs inside of his little kitty house that is in the shape of a fish. He likes to hang out in there a lot, and when we see him in there, we say, oh, he's gone fishing. The boy's gone fishing. Often, he's hanging out of it. So it kind of looks like it ate him, and he's just like, help, I got eaten by a big old fish. That's my boy. All right. Do-do-do. These are gonna look good. I'm feeling good. Feeling good about them. Feeling good about the amount of work we've gotten done. I'm feeling good about how these guys are looking. Feeling good on our timeline. I'm not feeling good about seeing shit out of the corner of my eyes. That just kind of happens, though. I know we haven't talked about you enough. Would you like to come over here and hang out? Your brother's already been here. Well, then come over here and I'll give you attention. Don't Don't be rude. As almost always, I cannot see her, but I can hear her and feel her presence. She's like Batman. She's like grimdark Batman. People think that's Conrad Cruz or Kurz. It's not. It's Marco. I'm Batman. Afraid of me. Swear to me. Dio is here. She needs her time in the spotlight. She does. Marco, if you'd like to come over here, I can pick you up and let you say hi to your public. My subjects, you mean? Dad, I'm a princess. I don't have a public, I have subjects. So maybe we should scooch these guys back a little bit. We are not out of focus either. Good job, Eli. Let's get some metal on these guys. And then, honey. Hi. Would you like me to pick you up? Where'd you go? I heard you. There you are. Hey, do you want to say hi to everybody? Do you want to say hi? Okay, well come here. But Theo, give it for free. She wants you to work for it, so it seems more important to you. That summarizes Margot as much as possible. Her favorite thing that Kelly has started to get really not cool with, and honestly, I don't help by not. El Bacco, you're just in time to say hi to Marco. Hi, everybody. It's me, Jumbo. Boopa, 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 boopa. I'm here to help. Calm down, friends. I'm here to help. She's purring. Would you like to sit with me? You can. She says, I might jump down, Dad. You could sit in the baby chair. She says, okay, that sounds good. Margot in the baby chair. She's probably only going to be there for a second, and then she's going to climb back in my lap and demand that I give her attention. I've raised little monsters. She says, no, I'm going to love on this cart for a little bit. I love this cart. You love that cart, Margot. Says, I'm putting my scent on it. It's mine. Good morning, Shankly. Margot, Steve says good morning. Good morning, Steve. Good to see you. Chunkiness. Hi, Margot. She said, nothing came out. You poor baby. So pitiful. No little squeaks or nothing. There we go. Now we can hear you. Did you need to sit in my lap again, or are you okay over here? I want to sit in your lap, but I want you to beg me. Do it. Girl, you are rotten to the core. Shankly, I told everybody about our wonderful, wonderful times. Shankly, how was your sleepover? How was the sleepover? Don't worry, no one who was there that, could be offended if you say not great. We'll find out. Sleepover was great. That was actually one of my favorite horror films. Yeah, which I proceeded to come home and watch with Kelly last night. It was a big kahuna situation where, I had a sandwich that was so fucking good. I was like, I gotta show this to my wife. I gotta get on my evangelical, pulpit and shout from the heavens how this is good. So, Exploding Grandmas, yes. They're also, I told them about our completely self-defense use of a grandmother corpse as a bomb in Merkborg. Hey, like Brian's character says, it's better to burn than be burned, right? That's all I'm saying. Exploding grandmas. That mental image of that sequence is going to live rent-free in my head for, I think, the rest of my life. She's like, well, just going to put that in there just for safekeeping in case I ever find myself in this kind of a situation. And I'm like, how do I get out of this? Man, well, if we had a grandma, a dead grandma, and a bunch of teeth and lamp oil. Oh, the grandma dirty teeth bomb? That old trick? Oh, that old trick? Yeah, everyone knows that. It is worse to live as a monster. Is it worse to live as a monster or die? Good man. I like being a monster personally, but I try to ride the line. As Fabulous Bill or Fabius Bile would say, infamy is always preferable to ignominy. Or ignominy? Indemnity? Yeah. Man, that word was hard to say. I'm sorry. This is like when people are like, you're so well spoken. I'm just like, I don't think I am. I often forget the words that I'm trying to say halfway through the sentence. It's hard. It's hard talking. Hoop a boop a boop a boop a boop a boop. A beep a beep a beep a beep beep. Painting that chainmail on. Put a little chainmail paint on. Beep a deep boop boop bow. Ooba dooba dooba doo. So today I gotta reach out to Johnny. I gotta reach out to Dave. I gotta finish up converting those. And then this evening, Kelly and I are going to work on pictures. We were discussing that. Part of the reason I bought 2 of these cameras was because I had every intention of learning how to use them, and I know who I am. I know that if I have someone there to do it with me and learn how to use these, it will be something that I actually want to work on and whatnot. So that's part of the reason we got 2 exactly like one another. Did you tell them that she was dragged to the chimney by thousands of roaches? Oh, Dark Eldar bits. Hell yeah. Yeah, Dark Eldar bits. I can look into that as well. It's the last line in Shutter Island. All right, spill the real tea. Did anyone smooch? I don't think... Okay, do you mean at the sleepover or do you mean in Merkborg? I don't think there was any smooching in any regard. There was no smooching that I know of. Unless I got smooched while I was asleep. Which Theodore would say is completely fine. It's acceptable to smooch people while they're sleeping as long as you don't wake them up. Right, Dad? And I would be like, Theo, that's not okay. He's like, come on. And this all comes down to, I'm sure I've talked about it before, but one night Kelly woke up and Theo, I'm a very heavy sleeper. One night Kelly woke up to Theo sitting on, I think a couple of people smooched Cosmo. Aha! Smooched. Cosmo did get smooched. I was like, I think, if anyone was getting smooched, it was probably Cosmo or one of those kitties. If they had let me pick them up, I would have smooched Steve's cats. I'm a cat smoocher. And I don't give a shit what other people think about that. It just seems appropriate. And I say that, and I'm just like, well, would I want a stranger smooching on my kids? My little fluffy kids? And it's just like, well, it just depends who it is. I try to be someone that people are like, hey, come in my house, smooch my cat. Dolly Parton and Perito. Dolly Parton got my vibes. Perito was just still just like, I don't know. Perfect. No notes. Thank you, Possum. I'm just like, hey, if you don't want kids that I want to smooch, don't have them around me. It's pretty simple. Furry, little ears. I'm gonna smooch them. Now, doggos are a little different because I don't understand them. I don't have +10 dog whisperer, only cat. Only kitty whispers. It's from years of practice whispering at kitties. Hey, what are you doing over there, little friend? Something like that. You know, normal stuff. Perfect? No notes. I'm not really sure what I could add at this point. Patrick, come on, help me out here. I'm not really sure what I could add at this point. Whenever they're trying to convince the king that they're time travelers when they get sent back in time. And it's like, we're not witches, we're time travelers from the future. It's just like, oh, I'm not really sure what I can add from this point. I've always really liked that part. It's good old SpongeBob. Back to work. This is dumb. Don't forget to beep out many names on Piss Pants. Yeah, I will. I didn't cover that, but we did start out the first episode of Piss Pants very much. See, it's one of those things where it's just like, man, I have that beast in me all the time. So it's just like, man, is it a good idea to have a podcast with someone else who wants to fan that flame? Because yeah, we started out like, hey, let's talk shit. So, you know, it is what it is. So I got to go in and I got to edit out some names, so you know people don't hate us. When we answered the question, who is the Joe Rogan of our community, and it's just like, well, I had to kind of learn about what he even fucking talks about, because I've never once listened to him. Just not my kind of jam, from what I've picked up. But then when I understood, I was like, oh, okay, is it blank? And he was like, oh shit, I didn't think we were going to say the names. And I was like, oh yeah, well, I mean, I could edit it out. And then that kind of just turned into, oh yeah, well, also so and so. And it's like, oh, well, I like so and so. I didn't think he was a bad dude. But I'll let him out nice and sweet, just You'll never know. You'll have to come to your own conclusions. But yeah, we had a really good first episode. I'm very excited to listen through it and edit. Oh man, but how will I know who you're talking about? You might know. I'll probably leave in just enough to where it's like, I don't say it, but if you have you probably will know. I don't know how much of that I'm going to be able to keep in, because I don't want to, again, I don't want to put people down. But at the same time, if you're putting people that I want to feel welcome in this hobby down, then sometimes you get the king piss horns. I get a little riled up sometimes. Also, Mowgli, I was 100% down yesterday to give you one of your wishes of it's me, Eli hates me. That is not true at all. I was actually set and ready to do a surprise impromptu mid-afternoon hobby hang. Special guest King Piss himself, which is just me on some of that eagle shit that Mowgli likes to talk about sometimes. And then I thought, I don't know, maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe that's not a good look. Just being very much, if they suck, I think we should bully them. I agree with that possum. I don't even know if the person that I said is still even in the fucking hobby anymore, because enough people are like, fuck that guy. And then the one that Steve suggested, actually, I did kind of defend. Yes, it would be, but don't tell anyone. We will figure it out. You will know. You will absolutely know. Like wintergreen. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You definitely will be able to tell. Definitely a different kind of vibe. A little bit more, I don't want to say unnecessarily combative. No, I'm not. I'm not unnecessarily combative. I won't say that. It's just a little bit more like zero fucks given. Just like, well, let me tell you how it is. Sweets. And a little more toot my own horn. Which I'm very, very proud of all of this that I've gotten done. And I know that it's like, oh, I just painted a bunch of little dudes, but I don't have being able to stick with a single project and see it through to fruition is something that is extremely difficult for me, especially one that is as big as building everything you need to showcase a game in all the ways that it can be played, um, while doing 100% like maximum effort. It's just I've not ever done anything that scale, and I can't wait to do more. I was Shankly and I were talking about he was painting some terrain for Mordheim, and we were talking about other games, and I was like, oh dude, I've been printing Trench Crusade terrain for months. Uh, One aspect is a 5x7 cathedral that is going to be like one of the main key locations for the campaign map. And he was like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, dude. Like, I am so pumped to work on that. Like, truth serum, why not? Let's say, yeah. Yeah, no, it's a truth serum. It's a truth serum, and also it definitely, it's the only way that I can like really look in, if that makes sense. For so long, I've had such like negative inner monologues, like my entire life. So it's very awesome to finally be able to like step back out of my own head and like look at myself and other things and ideas and topics from a completely different perspective, especially one that like is much more open and not as afraid to say and speak its mind. So yeah, that's the whole that's King Piss in a nutshell. It's just yeah. The concept. Definitely brings out what you're feeling. Yeah. Especially a little horned possum on your shoulder whispering temptations in your ear. Oh, yeah, of course. I just assume one shoulder has a little horned possum and the other one has a little devilish cat boy. And both of them are just saying the same things. The possum's just like, well, what if you did blank, blank, blank? And then I'm just like, well, what do you think? It's like, oh, yeah, I like that. Need a little bit more. 6-shooter. Bom, bottom. Hey, we've only got 3 more after this one, though. Waka, waka, waka. I think I said I had to talk to Johnny. Yeah, I got to message Johnny. Johnny got back to me with the loco. It definitely brings out your feeling out. What if you played Guar? Oh, man, Possum. Now, that kind of, like, saboteuring. I can't handle that. Not during that mode, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I want to. And again, because I'm making. See, this is where I get where I'm just like, well, I mean, I've already made. So what if you played BattleTech? Okay, now see, now we're getting a little. It's a little easier to say, what if I played BattleTech? But at the same time, I don't need to paint any terrain. I just need to paint the little models for BattleTech. Possum, I can't handle this right now. I'm feeling good about how much I've finished. Oh man, this thing's really jiggling. I wonder what's shaking on my desk. Ooh, what's shaking, desk? A 1, a 2, a 10, a 10. This is the part where I just start eating paint. Let's see. Notes of sweetness and salty and sugar. That's a 10. If you guys are not familiar with the old guy sampling the ice cream and talking about all the notes that are hidden in the ice cream and doing just the, yes, but now you can finish more. That is, possum. Don't be your, I don't want to say don't be your possumist with me, but no, I do, I encourage it. Be your possumist. I have to have willpower. I have to be strong. I have to finish. I have to push on. I have to push on. After 1490, I've got to get to work on my Beastmen for Murdheim. After I finish up Grief and the commissions that I have taken on, which the Wires have been very, very patient and wonderful, as they always are. And it's like, just do the commission whenever you want to. Do whatever you're feeling the most and what you enjoy. And I'm just like, you boys are too sweet for this world. And that's why I love them. Well, that's not the only reason. There's all kinds of reasons. They're just great people. If you don't know between the Bolter and me and the Wire Brothers, please do yourself a favor and check them out. They are three of the most genuinely kindest human beings I've ever had the fortune of meeting and becoming friends with. They would, without a thought, give you the clothes off their back if you needed them. Just wonderful, wonderful people, and I cannot speak enough kind things about them. Just three dudes that just want to make the world a better place. And we need that kind of stuff. Huzzah! Look at you go. Got your chainmail on, got your little bucket helmet. Chum bucket helmet. I might go with some bronze on Otto's helmet, so it kind of looks a little bit more like a, okay, where's the Halloween decorations? 3 days. I'm sorry, I know. I need to get on that. I will have to let Kelly know that she needs to help me decorate this thing. I gotta clean this motherfull up though. This motherfool. I've got to clean this space up because or 8 little mechs. What's 20 little quar to a skilled hobbyist like you? Or 8 little mechs? Flattery will get you everywhere, Possum, but I have to have self-control. And you're right, and that would be a whole nother game that I could play. The quar, I can absolutely do the quar when I get to painting some, like, World War I terrain. The mechs, they really wouldn't take that long. I have to do the commissions first, though, and I have to do Mordheim, but after that, I can knock that out. My game plan was, now that I've got this terrain, I can start working on showcasing other games that could utilize this terrain, which one of the very first ones was Necropolis that came to mind, because the mausoleums would do great in Mordheim, they would do great in 1490, they would do great in anything Warhammer related, Mysterion especially, but they absolutely, I have at least a table, if not 2 tables worth of mausoleums for Necropolis already made. I just need to paint them. So that definitely, and it has, after 1490, I think the smallest model count of like 28 millimeter dudes. Like, I know Battletech and Flames have a very low model count, but Flames I have to build terrain for. Battletech I don't. I have to just paint and learn the game. So that is absolutely a very valid recommendation. And I probably will go that route as soon as I need a mental break from all the fantasy stuff that I'm making. I've also just been kind of in the vibe with, I don't know, looking at more stuff from Mordheim and looking at Necropolis stuff. I've just been like, man, I do love really gritty dark fantasy. It's part of why I love 1490 so much. Just nobody's beating each other to death in the mud. Except with Mordheim, it's gonna be a bunch of cat boys. I can't wait to make a kitty boy minotaur. A kitty tar. It's gonna be great. And spoopy. And the warhounds are gonna be really good too. They're gonna look like they started off as people. Teehee. Probably be some cages. Wink. Also, being able to have enough stuff done that I can actually think about scheduling is so fucking rad. I've got all the equipment that I need. I just need to sit down and learn how to use it. And now that I have got enough stuff physically done to showcase, now it's like, hey, it's time to do that part, which means you guys are going to get shortly, and I've been saying this for a long time, but you all can now tell by how much I've gotten done that we are actually getting close to the end of that tunnel. So yes, please expect me to have the green screen up and to have the camera angles figured out better for like live games. I just have not had the time to learn a whole new trade while also trying to do this at like the highest level that I can to showcase. But we are truly almost there. And once these are painted, I will be taking time to learn all that stuff, which is exciting. It's exciting. Quar is great. You can tell the silly story about how the creator voiced a line in Monsters Inc. That's amazing. He voiced... Wait, what? I love that. I didn't know that at all. Man, so it's like Muppets and a little boo in there? Mike Wazowski. Yeah, I can't stress enough. I will do Quar. I will agree to doing it. You guys are getting Muppets. You're getting the most Muppets you've ever seen, if they were made by me. Hey, y'all like seeing pictures of Snuffleupagus hanging from a warehouse that look really spoopy? Ha ha! No, really though, do you guys like that? Because I like that. There's something really horrifying about seeing the puppet that is Snuffleupagus hanging from the rafters of a giant warehouse. It looks very horrifying. Big fan of the old Jim Henson warehouse photographs. They're creepy as fuck. Also, if you ever want to see something really scary that you can't get out of your brain, look up Hoggle Recovered. Like Hoggle Puppet Recovered. The puppet for Hoggle from the Labyrinth, when they finally recovered him, he had been lost for a long time, is the stuff of nightmares. And you're all welcome. I'm not going to show it on here, so I don't want to force anybody to have nightmares. That's a lie. I kind of want that all the time. But not you all. Just everyone else. Oh, hey, nope, there was another little mausoleum. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, Theodore. He just slunk between my legs while I wasn't looking. Hi. Hey, baby. Who's my little boy? It's you. It's you. Who's the best boy in the whole wide world? You? That is true. Hi. Want to tell everyone hello? He says, Dad, quit it. Pick me up. Pick me up and hold me. Stop doing what you're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I've got 6 mausoleums. And some sarcophagi. Back turn to the mausoleum. Defenses lowered. Theodore in place. I think that's the very first episode of Adventure Time I saw. Yeah, the sleepover. Where Starchy is standing in the graveyard with his back to the mausoleum, defenses lowered. Do you want to get in your chair? There you go. Hi. Hi, Theo. This is my boy. Yeah. He's the best boy in the world. Put the video of Monsters Inc. line in the cord. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I want to know who he played, if he didn't play Boo. Hi. Thank you. Little Theo kisses. Thank you, son. If you'd like to sit in my lap, you can. He's like, I'm thinking about trying to climb on your shoulders, and I am hoping that is not something he decides to do, because you all will hear me scream. There will be claws involved. They will go into my arm, which is where 95, if not more, of the scars all over my arms have come from. Is from not raising my little fluffy children to ever expect me to tell them no, and letting them kind of do whatever they want, which also includes sometimes climbing up on my shoulders so they can sit up there like a parrot. And yeah, they use their claws when they do that. That's the only time I get scratched. It's unintentional. But oh boy, it still hurts really bad. Yeah. But you're just so darn good. And so sweet. I can't help but say yes. Yes, yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Theo. You look so sleepy. It's just a rainy day, a rainy, cold day, hanging out with your dad in the grungin', huh? Yeah. Says, Dad, quit doing what you're doing and come hang out with me. You're being very good sitting in your chair. Theo's just coming down here. He's like, I want to show everyone who the best boy is. It's me. Burglars in the house? Hey, friends, let me show you where they keep the good stuff. Everyone loves me. I'm great. Classic Theo. So, I know I've ranted about this before, but it came up again because one of the things that really irks me is when I go to look at my library on my mini factory and find that a bunch of people have shared a bunch of shit with everybody on the whole damn site. And it's stuff that like I have no interest in. I'm just like, you guys are just adding more shit that I have to dig through into my library. Please don't do that. And it made me think about when U2 did that with their album, when they gave everybody their album for free, and everybody was just like, how do I get this off of my fucking phone? Nobody wanted it. And that made me think about the movie Taken, and how the single most unrealistic part, for me at least, of that movie is that his teenage daughter is trying to go on a like international like romp where she just follows the band U2 while they are on tour, and it's just like, that is a wild concept. Like that I don't remember when that movie came out, but if it wasn't in like the fucking 80s, that's insane. Like a very weird band for them to pick for like a teenage girl to be like, this is my favorite band, I'm gonna follow them all over the planet, including places where I could get kidnapped. Sorry, took it. And I've often found that funny. How did she get taken 3 times? Yeah, I don't know. I've never even seen the first one all the way through. But at that point, I mean, again, she's making the worst life choices. Whatever happens in the second and the third, if she gets took it again, I would think after, like, I don't know, maybe that's her hobby. Her hobby is getting taken, which is a very not good hobby to have for those that, you know, care about you. It's not a good one for yourself, getting took it. Someone's gonna hop in and disagree with me and be like, I love getting took it. It's gonna be Marco. I'm not yucking anybody's yum if they end up being abducted. Just to specify that. I'm just saying, poor Mario. Doesn't Liam Neeson get taken in one of them? How did she get taken 3 times? Princess Peach. She's just Princess Peach. Oh man. The princess is not here. She's in another castle. What the fuck was I doing here then? Also, how many castles are there in this crazy mushroom place? Well, does he take... No. See, I don't keep up with the Mario lore. Because Mario was never really a game that I played much growing up. It was only a game I played at other people's houses because I was not a Nintendo kid. So, I don't know if there is more to it than what I know, but it does seem like she just constantly is getting abducted by a big turtle dinosaur. And at some point, you got to be like, okay, he's got castle crash pads. Castle crash pads. That's good. I don't know, man. At some point, I'm getting suspicious, and I'm being like, is she getting abducted, or is this like, does she like being abducted? And so, how does Liam? I'm struggling with now thinking about how does Liam Neeson get took it, because he has a series of skills that I would think, based on what I have seen and acquired through like pop culture references. Everything about that man, I think, is like a set of skills to not get took it and to find people who have been took it. Sounds like he was boasting about some shit that is, sounds like you're signing a check, or, you know, giving out a check that your ass can't sign for. That's what I'd say in my old pappy voice. Grandpappy Johan, no! Alrighty. One more, Theo. One more. One more night, Theo. One more. Is that okay? Yeah, what are we chanting about? Something about root beer, right? No. Does the phrase, you can take the night off now, ring the bell? Oh, the most frustrating mold lines in the world. They were here, and now they're gone. I think it's the fact that it's like PVC plastic also. They don't scrape off the way a normal mold line does. You have to like pretty much cut them off. I'm assuming that's where the issue comes in. So I'm normally on top of that. I'm thinking they were harder to see when it was all gray. But having a little bit of paint on there makes them a little... Yeah, see this one I got most of it. Yeah. Oh my goodness, he's so sweet. I felt like they did it to subvert the expectations or something, but I could be misremembering. I like trying to figure out the plot of a movie that I've never seen and having an opinion on it. But it's kind of like the Fast and the Furious movies. I've not seen all of them. I've seen a few. And I really like the idea of going in and watching them out of order and basing my opinions on the insane story that I come up with of what the fuck is happening. Because the one that's presented is already just nonsensical from what I've gathered. Mainly when I see cars being like dropped out of like jets and they're just like, we're gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. Fam. That's me and my take on what I think Fast and the Furious movies are about. I feel like I'm pretty accurate. Acetone vapor both for glossy finish. Woof. Woof. Tokyo Drift is the best. I don't think I've seen that one. Maybe I have. I know I've seen the first one. Maybe I did watch Tokyo Drift though. I don't think I did. I think I just made it through the first one. I'm not a car guy. I know a lot of car guys, but I am not one of them. Switch that R with a T, baby, and maybe we can talk. Cat guy. To get more paint out. Sigh. Almost. We almost had enough, Theodore. He's just like that. I don't care. Okay, it's taken two where he gets taken. Tokyo Drift is the best. Doesn't have Vin Diesel. I don't mind Vin Diesel. I like that he's a really big nerd, and he has a foreword in the Dungeons and Dragons. I want to say it's 5th edition. Like the preface is like a foreword from Vin Diesel, just because of how much he loves D&D. I like that. Same thing with Terry Crews. I like that. It's like, I would not have pegged those guys to be really nerdy dudes, but they are, and that's fun. Oh my gosh, the whole table's shaking. Take it to. He's been tooketh by force. I used to play Hell Let Loose with a dude whose name was Taketh. Back in the old sweaty clan. Them sweaty boys. SWTY. Shout out to them, wherever they may be. Diesel and The Rock have contracts where whatever movie they play in, they come out on top, so they don't appear as pussies. I think it's a rule they can't compete on. Huh. That's, I mean, from a agent standpoint or like a marketing standpoint, I think a lot of people would probably. It sounds insane when you hear it, and I would not have anything like that. But I think, or maybe I do. Yeah, it's in my contract. You can't, if you ever come and hang out at the Grimdark Distillery, you just can't beat me up. I think that's a good vibe. But yeah, I don't know about that. That's like one of the best things about like Sean Bean. Is it's just like, yeah, if he's in a movie, you're like, that guy's gonna die. And I support that. I support that kind of vibe. For the lore, for the story. I might put a little bit more on this one. That one just feels a little light. Badass pirate rule. Yeah, that makes sense. I know that's actually like kind of, they talk about that kind of in, I think, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Oh, it's just like, yeah, you get typecast as the bad guy, the guy who gets his ass kicked, or the good guy, and then depending on what role, whether it's your breakout role or whatnot, it can really impact your image and what you get offered in the future, and that sucks. Like, it's just like, oh, he's an actor, not he is that character, which is crazy. But then again, people like the dude from fucking Furiosa. What is his name? Rictus. Yeah, Rictus. The dude that played Rictus got like a fuck ton of like awful letters and emails about like what his character did, and it's just like, it's the same thing as like Sean and I joking about mailing Carl Weathers like hate mail in relation to Rocky 40 years after the movie came out, like pretending like we didn't understand that he was an actor and that we thought that he really was Apollo Creed. It's one of those things where it's just like, how do you go about messaging an actor where you see their name and being like, you did awful things in that movie, blah blah blah, and it's just like, that's a character, he's an actor. How do you not? I don't understand that. Not Silent Hill though. You're right. Does he not? He doesn't die in Silent Hill. Oh shit. I think we watched that, recently, and I actually thought the same thing. I was like, wait a minute. I don't think he died in that one. I think there's might actually be just a couple, but the vast majority, he dies in his movies. I have not been using this this to hold the mini and keep it in frame for quite a bit. I am so sorry about that, fam. Okay, well, I think we're good on the 6-shooter. Just gonna put a little bit more on there. So that one looks like it's a little bit lighter. We want to make sure we have those dark metallic undertones underneath before we put the old Silver Fox or the Tin Fox or whatever it is. It's Silver Fox, right? Yeah, it's Silver Fox. Silver Fox, baby. More like Silver Cat. Wink. Hit me. Okay, I think I'm gonna call that good. Oh no! Maybe a smidgen more right there. Right there. And I think that's good. Okay, I think I'm probably gonna stop right there. It's he might die in the second one. So that's, yeah, I was trying to think. I was like, is he in the second one? Oh, that one's got Jon Snow. want snow. Theo Snow. He says, I don't like the snow. Makes my little piggies cold. Yeah, I know. Such a good baby. Okay, guys. Well, it is 10:04. I think I'm probably going to stop here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm going to go through and give a shout out to everybody. Mowgli, Roz, Possum, Shankly. I think that's everybody that was on today. Yeah. Mowgli, Roz, Possum, Shankly. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Keep me company while I work on this. Your time is your most valuable commodity, resource, asset, whatever you... It's what you have a finite amount of. So the fact that you like to spend it with me means the world to me. I missed you all. Thank you guys. No, I missed you guys yesterday. Sorry again yesterday. I had every intention to stream. Then I got home and I was just like, I just want to hang out with Kelly. And then I fell asleep. Got too snuggled up. So, but yeah, today I'm going to be knocking out some more stuff so I can have more to entertain you all with. And talking to people about some things so where we can get this stuff moving on. If you want to support my work, as always, you can go to the link in the description for the fourth wall. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Take care of yourselves and each other. Sit pretty, as always. Thank you guys, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, friends.